Why is nobody talking about Outriders? I played it at the beginning of the year and really had an awesome time, and that was just in the opening area of the game, while it should have way more to offer. But I already unlocked some awesome gear, cool abilities, because that is really the thing in this game. You feel like a badass from moment one and have a ton of ways to improve your characters. Like even gear will enhance your abilities in new ways. I mean, don't get me wrong, with a ton of other games coming out at the end of this year, I totally get why you might be focused on those. I mean, I am too, but I also think that it's awesome that a huge new IP is entering the market, and I feel that not a lot of people actually know what this game is or have it on their radar. It might look a bit like Destiny. I mean, I agree, the game has kind of an identity crisis, but it's not a live service game at all. It's actually a single player RPG with no microtransactions that should have a 25 to 30 hour main story that you can also play in co-op. And if you do the side content as well, then that 30 hour number might actually be double or triple the amount. And now every month till the release, the developers are doing an awesome broadcast that is really well put together, that shows a ton of new information, and we just had the second broadcast that showed a ton of new areas, went in depth on one of the 4 classes, and way more. And we actually got to play the game recently as well, so I want to show you new gameplay, go over the new broadcast, tell you why I think this game should be on your radar and more. A like would be super appreciated. And let's go. The gameplay of Outriders is the true standout. It's fast, weapons and abilities feel really powerful, and there's little to no downtime between the fights, so you always have an enemy to shoot at. It also helps that you almost always have a full magazine and that your abilities are on a super low cooldown, so you can use them very often. You could actually compare it to Doom, because this game also rewards you for being aggressive. You can go into cover like a Gears of War game, and the developers People Can Fly actually made a Gears of War title before this game, but it's way smarter to stand up and fight, also because of your healing ability that triggers after killing enemies, and it's different per class. Like for the Trickster, you heal when killing enemies that are close to you, while with the Pyromancer you heal when killing an enemy that is under the burning effect that you can trigger with an ability. And those are really just the basics, and as you continue through the game and the story, you will get way more powerful. And while the next broadcast will focus more on the story, I did play again the early part already. In short, Earth is lost and there's only one ship of humans left that go to this new planet called Enoch to try and build a new life. Only this planet is super hostile thanks to an alien storm. You are being saved and put into cryosleep, and then you wake up 30 years later and find out that other humans have tried to make the best out of it on this planet. Some have been altered by the alien storm, and crazy cults have shown up, but there's also aggressive wildlife, so really quite a lot of enemies to shoot at and many places to explore. So it's not an open world game, but there will be some open areas. We now actually got a good explanation of kind of the structure of the game in the new broadcast. So each area will namely have a central hub that connects to a free roam area, and in that free roam area we have multiple combat arenas and also ways to access other areas that are exclusive to side missions. So you have a main path through the area with some open environments and also linear paths, and then also the side quests that are already nice to do to fight against unique bosses, get exclusive rewards, but you will also be exploring different parts of the map that are exclusive to the side missions. You already saw Eagle Peaks, a snowy area, but there will also be deserts, a jungle-like area, and way more. And you travel to these areas from hub to hub with your truck that basically functions as a hub as well, but on wheels. So you have your gear vendor, your item stash, can change the look of your character here at any time, or interact with some characters that you meet along the way. Like Jacob, the driver of the truck, who you can also interact with to customize your vehicle. And in the new play session, we rescued a doctor called Sahidi, who then also joins us on our travels and who can actually help you craft weapon mods and upgrades We will see more about that specific feature, by the way, in the next broadcast. Now, in this recent stream, they went more in depth on the combat, focusing on one of the classes. And overall, we got the Earth and Rock focused Devastator, my favorite actually, who can also impale enemies and is just great at short range and can take a ton of damage. The Trickster is also nice at close range, but more in a sneaky way, teleporting behind the targets to do a surprise attack. Shotguns work great for either class, and there's even a skill for the Trickster that makes it so that more shotgun ammo will drop from enemies. So then you can really use this weapon way more often in combination with this class. Then we also have the Pyromancer that is again all about fire and more ranged focused and AoE, so can take on many enemies at a time. And they haven't fully revealed the 4th class yet, although we did see it being mentioned in the menu in the previous broadcast. Hello there, Technomancer. Sounds awesome, and I can't wait to see that one in action. You have multiple character slots, so you can totally make multiple characters for all the 4 classes. You do have to start from the beginning though again, at least that was the case during my earlier play session at the start of this year. So kind of comparable to Borderlands. Hopefully they add some skipping features here and there. And what is nice is that you can easily swap gear between characters via the item stash. So if you find something nice for the Pyromancer while playing the Devastator, then you can give it to that character. But you might even want to make multiple characters of the same class, because there are really a ton of options to customize the playstyle. Like the skill tree is really impressive. There are a lot of passive bonuses like increased damage with a specific weapon type or quicker ability regeneration, and some only work during or after using a specific ability. And if that's the case, then you can easily see that via an information window. And each skill tree has 3 different paths. For the Trickster and the Pyromancer, one path was focused on gun damage, the other one on abilities, and the other one on tanking, but they are connected, so you can spec into gun damage, then hop over to tanking if that is what you want. And a great example of how the skill tree enhances your playstyle was shown in the recent broadcast, where we see that they unlock Phoenix Nestling in the Tank Tempest skill line. And with this ability you automatically revive with 50% of your health after you get killed. And that will be super handy when you want to be taking most of the damage for your team. And again, gear will enhance this even further. In my previous Outriders video, I showed you a gear item that let me do one ability 2 times after each other, while normally after using it once, you have to wait for the cooldown. And now we got more examples thanks to these side mission rewards that were shown in the new broadcast. You can choose between a pistol that has a chance to not consume ammo on a crit. So again, that is nice if you focus on gun damage. Then we have a headpiece that debuffs enemies hit by your gravity leap. So great if you focus on the abilities path. And gloves that boost your health regen and armor when using the Tremor skill. So that is nice if you want to be a tank. And also cool is that the rewards you get are focused on the class that you are currently playing, meaning that every reward is always nice for your character. But yeah, that is just a small quality of life thing. Like, I really hope that this game has a beta or something so everyone can really get their hands on it, because it plays better than it looks in my opinion. Okay, maybe the dialogue are not the best in the business.
I don't know, this place seems to make people flip their fucking lids.
Like, it doesn't take itself too seriously, while it does have a pretty interesting story about what is going on this planet, and you'll be finding it out throughout the game. But even if the story doesn't deliver, and right now it's really hard to say because we haven't seen a lot of it, I still think that if you are into these third-person shooters that also have a deep RPG customization system, that this game is something worth keeping an eye on. It really feels like a third-person Borderlands in a way, but with a focus on the abilities instead of the guns. And it's also just pretty rare to get a new AAA IP, and I really like it when developers get full creative freedom to create a world that they would like to bring to life. And that means for us that we can experience something that we haven't seen before, and that we can hopefully be surprised by what the game throws at us, because everything is possible. I totally agree, like, looking at this game doesn't really sell it. So again, I really hope they do a beta or something like that. They want to go more in depth on that and the end game and crossplay in the future. So fingers crossed that everyone gets to try this game out at least before it launches. Because then I think that people will be pleasantly surprised. I at least was. So I can't wait for you to try it out as well. And hopefully there will be a possibility for that. Subscribe for more on Outriders. When there's like something cool to discuss, I'll be doing it here on the channel. A like on the video would be super appreciated. And we got a big Ubisoft Forward event coming later this month that will be all over. You can watch my predictions for that by clicking on the screen. For now though, I will speak to you next time and goodbye.